Imagine you own a business, and one day the president announces, "From now on, the government is taking over." Not buying it, not renting it, just taking control because he says the country needs it. That's basically what happened in this case. It's 1952, and the United States is fighting the Korean War. Steel is everything: tanks, ships, weapons, and supplies. But back at home, the steel workers were about to go on strike. They wanted better wages and working conditions, and negotiations were collapsing. President Harry Truman worried a strike would stop steel production, and that could hurt the war effort. So he decided to act fast. Welcome to Once Upon a Case, because the law isn't just for lawyers, it's for everyone. Instead of asking Congress to pass a law, Truman issued an order. The federal government would seize and run the steel mills. He put the Secretary of Commerce, Charles Sawyer, in charge. Truman's thinking was simple. If the factories stay open, the country stays safe. But the steel companies were shocked. They said, "Wait, the president can't just take our property." So they sued, and that lawsuit went all the way to the Supreme Court. The big question: can the president take control of private businesses during an emergency, even if Congress never gave him that power? Truman argued this was necessary for national defense. The steel companies argued the opposite. The Constitution doesn't give the president the power to make that kind of decision alone. The Supreme Court sided with the steel companies. They said no. Even in wartime, the president cannot seize private property without authority from Congress. In plain English, the court was saying, the president runs the executive branch, but the president does not get to create new law just because it feels urgent. That power belongs to Congress. This case is a big deal because it draws a line. The court made it clear that emergencies do not automatically create new presidential powers. The Constitution doesn't allow that. Thank you for watching. If you learned something new from this story, follow along for more. See you on the next one.